Hello. As I said in the class, I'm going to put together a video on how to install PyCharm Community Edition. And to begin with that, I start thinking maybe some of the issues we have, the folks have in relation to the PyCharm is related to the Python install. So what I'm going to do is I want to show you, first to set up how to install Python and set it correctly, at least for the class. On Windows 10. Now I don't have Windows 7. For the folks who use Windows 7, I cannot help you. This is a Windows 10. That's the only machine I can find. Okay, so you go to the python.org and you can just download the Python. It's the 3.8.3. That's the latest version. Okay, so now I downloaded this and let me install it. Okay. So this is what I downloaded, and I want to install this. So I double click install. Now the way I do it, there are many different ways. Excuse me, so sorry, I had to re-download this. It's for whatever reason the default is 32-bit. I'm going to re-download this. Okay, make sure you get 64-bit. It really doesn't do much good. I mean, for class 32-bit might be working, but that definitely wouldn't. You don't want it for the 64. For the long run, you're better off the 64-bit. Okay, so I'm going to re-download this. I'm sorry. Let me just cancel this. So let me look at this. Download Windows releases. So here I click on the Windows release. Okay, Windows version, and I'm going to look for the 64-bit executable. Okay. Don't download 32-bit unless you're just doing this for the fun. But if you're gonna do it, I might as well do it right. So anyway, so click on the 64-bit. Okay, and save it. Then we'll go to the download again and start the 64-bit. Okay, that's the 64-bit. So we're gonna start that. Now here is something you can choose the default install now, which I don't, and there's something I can explain in the class, but to me, at least for me, I do the way I do. Okay, so I like the way I have. So I click on the custom install. All these I don't touch it. What I do here is, because the way they have it, the default makes it real long, and it's actually hidden somewhere. It's hard to find. So what I do is I just install this at the C drive's root level. So it will just be at the root. It's much easier for me to locate that, and also look into some of the scripts and the binary. The scripts utilities too. So that's why I install. I do not use the default install location. I just override with this C drive at root level. Okay. So I install this. Now, while it's going to take a bit long, so let me just go back. Also, we talked about to do the PyCharm, right? So you can just Google it, and PyCharm. Well, the version we want to do is a community version. Okay, so you can just Google a PyCharm community download, and then you will locate this page and click on the download. So. And we will let it go. So the community version. Okay, we'll just let it download, and then let this install. Okay. All right. So now the Python is installed, is finished. Let's just double check, make sure. So if you look at the driver C, remember I said it's in driver C, right? So look at this. This is what I have. Python 3.8. Okay, that's what I have. Now ignore this because I had this already installed, but just look at 3.8. That's what we're gonna use anyway. So this is what I have. Now there is one thing I do in here. You do need to do that. So just if you follow the way I did the Python install, you need to do this piece. Okay. So this is the Windows File Manager. In this PC, you click on the right button, okay, and then click on the property. Now you get this, and there's other ways to get to this place, but that's how I do it. Okay, and then what you do is click on advanced system setting. Right, you have advanced system. Now under that, you want to click the environment variables. Okay, then what you need to do is to add the path to the Python 3.8 to the path environment variable, which is in here. Now don't choose here. Okay, we want to update is the system variable, so the path, right, and you click on edit. Okay, now in here what I need to do is add the path to my Python location. So I will in here do a new, right, then it's C drive, right, C drive / and then it's Python 3.8. Now just double check this is the correct one, right? So this is Python 3.8 C : / Python 3.8, right? So I want to make sure. So this is the correct directory. You see this? C : / Python 3.8. So C : okay. And if you're not sure, you want to do is you can also copy into it instead of type into it. So either way, just to make sure, right? So but that's not yet. You need to add another one, which is the Python 3.8's utility. So where is that located? It's actually located in the script directory. Okay, there are some of the utilities you need to set the path to. So what you do is just copy this and add it here. Okay, so come on here, add a new one here, and then just add this. You see this, right? It's you have at the 3.8. You also add one the 3.8 / scripts, which is these utility will be located. Okay, so you need to set up that. So once we did that, the system setting is set up for the Python 3.8 is done. So you can just close all this. Okay, so now that's basically set up already. Okay, how do we test this? So if I open up Windows command line console, if I type Python, you should see the Python script shell, right? Script shell. So that means the 3.8 Python 3.8 is installed. Okay, and then let's exit. Now Python 3.8 has this utility called pip, so we can type pip, which is actually located in the scripts directory, right? We already set a path to that. So look at this, if it's there, so it's working. So these two system path variables are being added to your path variable already. So we're good. Now I already downloaded the PyCharm Community Edition. So you come over here and just click on this. We'll start Community Edition. So yes, you want to set up that, and then just click and nothing. I don't change anything. I just take whatever the default is. Okay. So if you want to ask if you want to create a desktop shortcut, you don't need to, but just for convenience, because I want to make it show up here so I can use it easily. So I select a 64-bit launcher. So and just keep going. So you see it's the desktop icons here. Okay, so once it's finished, I am gonna basically show some of the basic features of the PyCharm, and that way in the class I already did, but I just want to redo it just to might as well use this video segment to show. Okay. So while we're on it, it's going to take us some time. So let me go to the file manager again, right? So now go to my user directory, whatever the user you have, right? Go to my user directory. What I'll do is, so okay, I'm sorry here. So it's done, the install. So it asks if you want to run community edition. Yes, yes. Right. So it's going to take a bit of time to set it up. So I'm sorry. Continue. Well, I selected don't because I don't like sending my stuff to JetBrains. So I click no. Okay. Now here is an interesting piece. So in the class, some folks ask, well, it was dark because that's the default. How to change it to the light? Assuming it's dark, okay, and so I can show you how to do the. You can change the theme back, okay. So I'll just click accept the default, and I'm gonna keep going. Now notice here they actually do have a Amazon toolkit for Python, which is what Amazon provide. You don't need to install this for a number of reasons. So we'll just leave it going, okay? Because the class we wouldn't cover the AWS toolkit to the extent we're worth to install this toolkit, okay? So now you have this set up already, right? So I am gonna close this and come back. You know what? Actually, let's just leave here. So I started the file manager, right? And what I'll do is I will create a new folder called VNEVS. It stands for Virtual Environment, because I don't like the way in the PyCharm default setting. I want to put a virtual environment in this folder so I can see it. But in the classroom, you can choose whatever however you want to. Okay. So assuming it's all set up already, so let's create a project. So we click on the create a project. So we do a week 1, right? Just like we had in the class. So we do week 1, right? 0, 1, because we're gonna have 10, 12 classes weeks. So we'll just do week 1. So once we select week 1, now notice here it asks, do you want to use a brand new environment variable? Obviously, I will say yes, I do want it to. What I have talked about is what the virtual environment is. The virtual environment is a sandbox of your Python install. Basically, what it does is it copies the. Remember, we have this Python 3.8. What it does is it copies the core Python files, executables, and scripts into the directory in here. It's under my week 01. This PyCharm will create a folder called VMV, okay, and underneath of it, it will copy all the stuff here. The idea is your project will use the Python installed in this directory for this particular project, okay? And the idea is whatever the stuff you added to for this project purposes to the Python, it will not show up on the system Python, okay? That keep the version sanities, I guess, in a way, because the original install should be pristine, and then your project Python can add the modules or whatever the modules you want to. It's not a big deal for Windows. It is a big deal for Mac and Linux machine, because those operating systems use Python as a system scripting language. So you don't want to add a bunch of stuff to the system Python install, which create a problem for the system side. Okay. So anyway, you just when you first time doing it, you don't need to change this. You can just leave this. So just know where it is. Okay. So I'll do create. Just wait a minute, and I will show you what the structure is. Okay. So. Okay, so while it's storing it, let me do a Googling on this. Okay, PyCharm change the theme. So like I said, a lot of time you can just Google it to get to this. So here's one. Let's hope this will work. Okay, so we'll get back. So it's finished install already. This is where it asks you, the Windows Defender asks you, because what happened is the PyCharm IDE actually goes out, connect to its licensed servers as well as the potential GitHubs and its update server, which it checks for the update. And usually it's, I check yes because you can click automatically configured. Basically it will allow the PyCharm IDE to pull the updates down for you. So, and IntelliJ, which is the maker of PyCharm, is well known. So the security risk for this is, it's not as bad, I guess that's the right word. So now when we finish this, you will see it underneath there's a folder called VMV, which is the virtual environment. Okay, let's go to there to see it. Okay, so hold on a sec. So in the users folder, let me show this. Okay, you have to forgive me because I don't use the Windows as often as so where's the view this, so we'll do the detail view. That's easier, the better, at least for me. So we will look at where are the project go, right? So it's it's here. It's under your username and PyCharm projects. Underneath of it, right, there's a week 0. That's my project. Notice here, this is where the Python sandbox is being installed. So if you look drill down here, you see it. The libraries, right? These are your installed packages, and then you have a script. The script. These are the scripts. Look at this. Pips, Pythons, all are basically copied from the system Python, which is in here, over to that local variable, local directory, so you can add this the project, the libraries you want to. Okay, so that's over here, and now we have this installed, and we know the virtual environment is also being set already. And how do I know? Because if you click on the terminal, you'll see it. It's the VMV. That's where the directory is the virtual environment is, right? So it's in here. VMV. Now if I change the name to Jack, it will be Jack. Okay, there's no particular ways to say, okay, this is right or wrong. There's no particular restrictions. It's just whatever the name you can come up with. Okay, so this is called VMV. So I am in this directory. Okay, so that's pretty much finished the install and the setup. Right now in the class, I also talked about setting up the run configuration. So assuming let's just add a new Python file. Okay, so add a new Python, right? So I did in the class I did the exercise 01, right? So in here I do a print hello world. Okay, so and then I also did just to hello another world. Right now I also have I did this b.2, then print the total of A plus B is right. So the idea is, I just want to make sure we are actually, I'm sorry, the keyboard itself. Let me. Okay. So the idea is I want to show the folks, you know, how to use the debug. So we'll have a plus b. Okay. So now, if I wanted to run this, how do I do that, right? So you need to create a run configuration. So click on the run and edit configuration. You click plus. It's select add a run configuration. So you select Python because this is a Python program. Okay. So we'll just say this Python exercise 01, just to, you know. So now you need to click here to set up the path, right? So the project path is week 01, right? Because that's where you're located, right? And then there's no parameter for now, so, and all these are defaults, you know. So it's use the virtual environment here, so we're all good. I'll click OK. Now I have a run environment. So if I click on the run, right? Wait a minute, sorry. I need to click here. If I click on the run here, that's it, right? So this is how it works. Now I also talked about the debug, right? So you know, you can click here, set a debug points, click the little wheel, and they just click allow access because it needs to pull the, again, it needs to pull the debug. Actually, there's a C version of it. That's why it's downloading it. So you know, it stops here, right? If you could look at the console's printed hello world, and then printed from hello from another word. Now it stopped at this, right? So if we keep going and stop here, remember I said you can do an evaluation of the expression. So what I'll do is let's evaluating what the a plus b will equal to, and here is 1, a is 1, b is 2, right? So you can click on the right, you highlight a plus b, and then click on the right button and select the evaluate expression. That brings up an evaluation window, and you click it here. It tells you, you see? So the result of a plus b is 3. Okay, so you basically did it without actually executing it. You know what if they do, what the value is. Okay, so then you can just click the little green arrow here, so it just execute. Okay, so that's pretty much it. It concludes the, you know, the quick install, configuration, and how to use it as well. Okay, use the PyCharm. Now the last piece is folks ask, how do I change the theme? So here is how we're going to do it. I do not know, but I just Google it. So from here it says, how do I change it? So it says from the settings, right? Do it. So that's why I'll come over here to do it. So from a file, settings, there's an appearance. You see here, it's the appearance. So from appearance, use the let me see what the theme from a Dracula will change. Let's just use Windows 10 Lite. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, okay, so now that's light color, right? And we can do intelligent light. I don't know what it looks like, but so it's similar. But anyway, so that's how you change it. Okay, so from file, setting, and under the appearance behavior, select appearance, and the theme is where you make this selection. Okay, so now you change to white, the light color. Okay, so that's basically it, and it concludes the whole video tutorial. I will upload this to YouTube, so you can look at it through YouTube. Okay, thank you for watching.